Welcome, everyone, to the Commentary Podcast. I am your host, Pat Brennan. Today on the podcast, we are going to be watching Shutter Island. It was released in 2010. It is written by Leda Colagrides and directed by the great Martin Scorsese. The film stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Ruffalo, Ben Kingsley, Michelle Williams, Emily Mortimer, Patricia Clarkson, and Max von Sydow. And just a quick plot summary here. The film follows a deputy U.S. Marshal who comes to Shutter Island to investigate a psychiatric facility after one of the patients goes missing. Joining me for this rewatch of Shutter Island is Will Custer. I will be dropping all of his social handles in the episode bio, so please give him a follow there and check him out. Now, I'm going to be watching the 4K copy I have of this film, but it is currently streaming on Tubi with ads. You can also rent it on Apple for $4, on Amazon for $4, and on Fandango at home for $4. I say we get things kicked off. We are going to be pressing play on Shutter Island, and I hope you do as well. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Martin Scorsese. A movie he doesn't actually like.
Yeah. Is this the first Scorsese movie you've done?
It is, and it's funny. It's the one that he doesn't like. Which I think he likes the movie overall, but it's just, I think it was the whole production of it. He just has a sour taste of this movie. He just doesn't like it.
And I think it's one of his more underrated ones, especially past the 2010s or into the 2010s.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that he doesn't like it.
I know. I feel, definitely underrated, I think. I feel like a lot of people like this movie. I don't think I've ever actually met anyone that didn't like this movie.
Yeah.
I saw this in theaters when this came out in 2010?
I think so.
I saw this in theaters.
Yeah, I think I saw it when it came out. Me and my family rented it on Netflix when they were still doing hard discs. And I don't think I liked it as much then, because it mostly came out when I was in middle school or high school. And it just didn't really connect with me. I didn't dislike it, but I was just not really my thing. But then I watched it again 2 or 3 years ago and just fell in love with it.
And he does this weird, he reverses the shot here. It's when he brings his face up. It's very interesting. Right there. He reverses it very weirdly and it creates a weird distortion.
Yeah.
The music.
It kind of sets the tone for the rest of the movie, because it's all kind of the point of view, at least, is very distorted as it goes on and on.
There he is. Me and my Twitter buddy, Mark Ruffalo. I really like the this whole opening sequence. The music in it is so good.
Yeah.
It's just it sounds like it's just horns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw this movie in theaters with, I think, 3 of my high school buddies.
Yeah.
And I think after, they were just that was the best movie I've ever seen. But they were people that they don't watch a lot of movies, so they were just that was the best movie I've ever seen.
They see 3 new movies a year.
Yeah. Yes, I was a senior. I had just graduated high school, I think. This came out in June or July of that year. I think I just graduated high school.
I think I was entering high school.
Oh, I love that when it cuts back and it's just a still frame of her. Kind of a terrifying image, because of her smiling there, just knowing what she does at the end of the movie. But there you go. There's the tie that he was wearing. So
yeah.
Where would you place this on your Scorsese ranking?
It's tough because there's a lot I haven't seen. I haven't seen Casino. I've seen his big stuff. I've seen, I think my top would probably be Taxi Driver. I love. I just think it's phenomenal movie. And you know, I really like a lot of his like older stuff. Like I really love Silence, which I know a lot of people are kind of like mixed on. But I just feel you can really feel like his passion for that story so much. This is
He been
probably
trying to
like
do that for like a long
forever.
time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think like he wanted to do it like in the early 2000s and just couldn't get funding for it or something like that. So
Yeah.
this is probably like probably middle of the pack, but every time I watch it, I feel like I have to creep it up a little more on my list. What about you?
I would probably say, I don't know. I'd have to like really. It's probably like towards the middle, but like
Yeah.
not like lower middle, upper middle.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think every time I rewatch it, I'm just like, damn, this is a good movie.
Yeah.
The great John Carroll Lynch.
Hmm.
Fun fact: did you know that that is John Krasinski's cousin?
I didn't know that.
He's John Carroll Lynch. That's how he
Really?
got into the industry. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
he was gonna like move out, and I think he said my mom was like, just send John your like resume. He's like, I don't want to do that, mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, then he was just just send me your stuff. Yeah, like
That's funny.
that's his cousin. Fun fact. Yeah, this music is just so like.
Yeah. Just like menacing. It's like this dreary, menacing tone.
My favorite shot is coming up in the movie. It's like when the gate opens and it's like you're like the vehicle coming in, and it's just the music's
Yeah.
just like going like dun, 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 dun. It's so good. Yeah, it's like coming up right here. I mean, it's basically like having this whole opening, like knowing what obviously the twist is at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, he sells it pretty well that this is like they're detectives like coming into
Yeah.
this like
They're just,
insane thing.
yeah.
Like it's like this shot right here, yeah. Just the POV of the vehicle and the music just gets like insane here.
That is a sweet shot. And just whole sequence.
Mm-hmm. Because it's supposed to be like using this like terrifying like music to be
Hmm.
like, all right, I guess, or not like I guess not terrifying, but like very over the top, like. But I guess that's kind of the point. It's like it's over the top, and then these people are like playing along with his like over the top insane fantasy of like
Yeah.
what's going on. Oh, there's Scorsese whip pans.
Uh-huh. I think I read one time that like a lot of the buildings here, and I don't know if it was built for the movie or just like built for something else, but they're modeled off of like Nazi concentration camps. I think like the Dachau concentration camp
Oh,
is
really?
like what they used for reference to create it.
I guess that makes sense because like they have like he was in World War II, so like his
Yeah.
character, so like it makes sense like why
Yeah.
it kind of has those like references. I love that this shot too here with the blocking because it's like
Yeah.
again when you know the twist at the end, it's like
Yeah.
they're not actually partners. Like they're separated right here.
Yeah. And you can like knowing the twist, you can kind of see that in their expressions too. Like
Mm-hmm.
Leo is so like
Or even
distraught
right
about
here,
having to turn over his
like
weapon and stuff.
yeah, like Ruffalo couldn't even get the gun out like super fast. Like
Yeah.
that's what, like him looking at him there. It's like that's like I mean I love movies like this because then when you go back and rewatch them, you're like oh like
Yeah.
it's so obvious. Like
Yeah. And that's why he acts like no shot, not so nonchalant about
yeah.
turning his stuff over. He doesn't really care too much.
Just walking around.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty elaborate for them to like do all of this. Honestly, I'd be like,
Yeah.
if you're like the head of the hospital, I'd be like, no, just bring him back. Like, I'm not going through this whole elaborate thing again. Oof.
I remember the first time I watched this, that shot right there, like the old woman just creeped me out so much.
Great makeup. Oh,
like the way she smiles back at Leo.
But it's like interesting because it's like he makes them seem, all the other people in there seem so crazy and wild.
Yeah.
It's like, and it made like Leo seems like the most sane one there.
Yeah.
But he's actually a patient. So it's like he's the most sane patient there. But in reality, he's like the most crazy of them all. Like he's this elaborate, like having to do this like every time, essentially.
Yeah.
Ben Kingsley. He's like an actor. Ben Kingsley's like, he's good in everything he's in, even if the movie's not very good. Like he's always like top notch.
Yeah.
I feel like he's like a guy that like probably reads lines once. He's like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Like, he seems like that guy. Like, yeah, I got it. Yeah. Yeah, Scorsese uses like the pans a lot.
Yeah.
Like that type of style of camera movement. I mean, his signature is like the whip pan. Yeah, his signature is like the whip pan.
Yeah.
I love that blocking right there too. They're both looking in opposite directions.
Yeah.
In almost all cases, yes. And personally, Doc, I'd have to say screw their sense of calm.
And then when you're shooting like that whole scene, like Ruffalo's like shot opposite, like from, he's not even in the same frame as him. Like,
yeah,
it's like clearly pointing out like, are they like, they're partners, but like if you're reading into this, like clearly these guys are completely different people. And obviously, again, in the editing at the end, and then when Ruffalo here and them are talking, they're in the same frame, and now Leo's by himself, like because they're all in on it. Leo's by himself.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like that throughout the whole movie, I'm pretty sure, where they'll like isolate them in the shots, so they're almost never in a, outside of like that beginning, like they're not in a lot of single shots together.
I feel like just like a lot of, I mean, I always bring this up every time I like want doing the podcast, but just like these types of just camera movements, even like editing like this, like I just feel like people just don't, they wouldn't want to do this. Like all this blocking, like them walking around, it's just so much coverage. And I feel like, especially from like, say like a Netflix or other studio standpoint, they would be like, we don't have time for this. Like you need to get this done quick. So you wouldn't have this much coverage. You wouldn't have these many shots.
And it feels like a lot of studios and a lot of movies nowadays, just they're trying to make it as quick as a production as they can, because it's going to cost more if it's a longer production, obviously. And sometimes, not all the time, but a lot of time, like the quality just goes down because paying as much attention to detail and stuff like that.
Yeah, like you probably would have them come in and immediately sit down, so you don't have to have that much blocking at all, and like have him just right there the whole time.
Yeah,
and this would be your entire
walking
dialogue.
Around a room like this.
Yeah, this would be your entire dialogue.
Yeah. Or if they're not sitting down, they're going to be standing in the same spots. Like having, like it makes me think of, I don't know if did you see Maestro from this past year? So like there's that one scene later in the movie where Bradley Cooper and Carey Mulligan are basically having that argument. And the whole time they stand, and it's like long scene, but they're standing in the same spots. They barely move.
Don't move. Yeah. I've like really noticed that a lot, and like especially with like Netflix movies, I've really noticed it. I mean, from a production standpoint, I get when you're on like a time crunch, you're like, we just have to get these people in like a 2 spot. We're not gonna have you move a lot. Like, I mean, this just like if you're watching this, like this is just a lot of setup. Like, and at the time, Scorsese would be able to get that type of money to do that from a studio. Now he basically just has to like work with Apple, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always has like Ben Kingsley like between them.
Yeah.
Even when the guy behind Leo right there like came in, his like facial expression when he came in, he was like very like nervous. Like he didn't.
Yeah.
Like he's just like has to play along, but he's very nervous about it.
Anyone who was working. I'll take your request on consideration. Request this is a federal facility, a dangerous prisoner. Patient has escaped them. Will comply. All I can say is Doctor, we're gonna need to speak with the staff. Do you understand?
Yeah, see how he's kind of like, I mean, Leo's like arm was in that shot, but like he was still like very separated. Like they shot Ruffalo separated. Like, and Leo's like basically driving everything, and Ruffalo's just like, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you rewatch this, like there's cops right there just being like, we're doing this again. Like
just kind of standing around throwing rocks in the ocean. Like I think literally like 3 of them were just sitting down, smoking cigarettes and throwing rocks.
Plot twist: this is actually Skull Island. It's King Kong prequel. It's probably a green screen behind them there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's green screen. Oh, it's wait.
You could notice it a lot on the boat too. The green screen they used.
Oh yeah. But whatever.
Yeah.
Watch that be the reason he doesn't like it, just because of the opening scene. Like,
they can't do all practical.
Too fake, yeah. The Lighthouse, that's where Willem Dafoe is.
It's a Lighthouse prequel. Or sequel.
Okay, Rachel Solando. Who else does she have to pass to get down here?
He did this like same exact kind of like camera in the middle with everyone like talking and the panning around in Killers of the Flower Moon. I think he's done it a bunch of times. This guy's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I saw him in something recently.
And maybe that's the bathroom. Well, you breached protocol. I wasn't gone home in a minute.
It's almost like they're like forgetting their lines. Like, what's my line again?
Yeah. Like, you have to go in the improv.
Yeah.
Try and be believable.
Mm-hmm.
She was in a group therapy session.
Anything unusual?
Define unusual.
Excuse me.
It's a mental institution, Marshall. The criminally insane. Usually it's a big part of our day.
I will rephrase.
And he's insane. What?
Yeah.
It's interesting character design to give him like that tie too.
Yeah.
No. Sorry.
The salon
Like I wouldn't be able to like take himself like seriously. Like you're a detective. You look like you're like about to go to Palm Beach.
So you were there, was there a doctor present?
Yes, Dr. Sheehan led the discussion.
Dr. Sheehan?
His facial expressions while he's questioning everyone is just so funny because he's just like so dumbfounded by everyone.
Yeah. I think it's because he's just like, why doesn't like no one care what's going on? Like everyone's just like filing their nails. Like it's like I don't care. Like
yeah, no one's acting really that concerned.
Mm.
You're in a state of lockdown. A dangerous patient has escaped, and you let the primary doctor leave on vacation.
Ruffalo's really good in this though.
He is
because he essentially is playing a character that's supposed to be acting. So it's like like that, like him coming up. Wait a minute, you're telling me?
Yeah, he's so fun to watch in movies too.
Mm-hmm.
It always cracks me up when people are like, "Oh, he's a great actor," after they've just seen him in like Marvel stuff, and he's been in great stuff this whole time outside of that.
I know. It's like it's just people now in general. They watch like one Marvel movie and then that's the only thing that actor is known for.
Yeah. And he's always pretty funny too, even if it's not like a comedic role.
Yeah. I mean, very easy thing to do too is like have it always be raining.
Yeah.
Especially for this type of movie. It's got to be raining. Can't be like 95 out.
95 and sunny.
Yeah.
During the Civil War, at the same time as the
Oh no, flashbacks. This is also the first time I ever heard it's used in Arrival, probably more famously, but On the Nature of Daylight. That song is used in this. I know when I first heard that at the beginning of Arrival, I was like, oh hell yeah. This is gonna be good.
That's such a good movie too.
The great Max von Sydow. Crazy. That guy acted for so long, man.
I know.
I'm sorry? Your profession, psychiatry. I always heard it was overrun with bruises and drunks.
They make him very like seem like Nazi kind of.
Yeah. Like he has some sort of hidden agenda.
Yeah. I mean, here you go. Some Nazi stuff. He essentially just has PTSD this whole like movie.
Yeah.
Which caused him to go insane. I like that line is when he says like, "You're capable of violence, but I'm not accusing you of being violent men."
Yeah.
Because essentially, like if you're fighting in a war, like you're going to be committing violence, but you're not actually violent.
That's like who you are. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually saw someone brought up a point on Twitter about how the difference to how Scorsese and like Tarantino handles like their depiction of like Nazis in this movie as opposed and then in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Because like Inglourious Basterds, like they just like shoot them all in the theater and everything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And this one, it's very much like, especially the one shot of them when they're like pans across and they're all getting shot, and it's very like what they're explaining here. Like he's committing violence, but he's not like the violent person.
Yeah.
If you look at Tarantino's characters, it's like very like these people are just violent people. Like they want to do the same thing.
Yeah, and they want to go over and kill these people. And it's very like also stylistically like very much over the top, like showing that violence. Wow. I feel like this in this and even in other Scorsese movies where he's like dealing with historical like conflicts, like he's not being so over the top. He's like showing how it was, but almost like I feel like Tarantino is trying to show how over the top it is and like going that extra mile. And he does that.
I always love that little sequence where it's like right here is when he walks up to this like Nazi officer, and like he's gonna like kill him, but then he looks outside and he sees all of the dead bodies, and then he sees him trying to reach for the gun to kill himself, and he just pulls it away, being like, "No, you're gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer like you made them."
Yeah.
Again, perfect example right there. He's like, of not committing the violence. Essentially, it's like he's did it like he basically being in there is being violent, but I'm not going to be over the top violent person. I'm just going to let you bleed out.
And he's like he's trying to show like the heart of the character.
Yeah.
That he easily could have just killed them right there. Right. And he could have like put him out of his misery, but also like killed this leader. But instead it's going to make him suffer through it without like being the one to like force that suffering.
Yeah. Like I'll let you bleed out.
Yeah.
I love that, like when it cuts to Ben Kingsley, we need the files. He's like, "You're not gonna be." Like...
This investigation is over. We're going to file our reports and we're going to hand it over to Hoover's boys. That's right. We're taking the ferry back in the morning.
Yeah, there you go. Like when he's like, we're gonna hand it over. He didn't know who to hand it over to. Like Hoover's boys. Yeah, Hoover's. That's who we're handing it over. So your reminds me of a lot of like Zodiac in ways.
Yeah.
I think it's like a lot of the lighting. I guess because Mark Ruffalo's in
it. Yeah. There you go. There's a commonality.
And John Carroll Lynch.
You did an episode on Zodiac earlier, didn't you?
Oh. One of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Watch that anytime.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, he has like the music like the whole time. It's just like so uneasy. Just like strings, very like loud, basically like horns.
Jesus, are you ever sober anymore?
Oh, Michelle Williams.
Why you drink?
I think this was the first thing she did after, because she was with Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
It was like the first thing she did after he died, I think.
Really?
Maybe not too long after.
She's still here.
Oh, here you go. Here it is. Here's the song. She's so good at playing like that, like just being terrifying. Like she never left. And then here's him alluding to when you see the end scene. Yeah, the editing in this sequence is so like interesting.
Yeah.
It's like she has like it's basically him showing like her like split personality.
Yeah.
Like she'll be staring at there and it cuts right back to her being serious and she's like smiling out the window again. Like
yeah.
Oh, Thelma. You're a great editor.
And this is such a good job of just like showing who Leo's character, like what is the heart of his character, and like what matters to him most, and what is like traumatizing him the most. Just love the way it's designed.
That just strong light on them. Again, unnatural lighting, but it works.
Yeah.
It's interesting to use like the ash and everything as part of it. It's like his like mind is like blending all of his memories together.
Yeah.
Of like liberating like concentration camps, then it's mixed down with her.
Yeah.
To show how his mind is so crazy now. Like, yeah, this dude's nuts.
Yeah, I feel like the first time I watched this, or maybe the second time even, I was like, he's just traumatized. He has PTSD.
Yeah.
Then watching it again and again, you're like, oh, he's just going insane.
Yeah.
Already.
It's like a mix of PTSD and just like, yeah, just so much going on in his mind.
Yeah.
Like it's like, yeah, like that whole sequence, it's like it's just his war, like his wartime and then his personal life are all just blending together. He doesn't even know what's real and what's what memory anymore.
Some say the patients become reasonable, others say they become zombies. New school, psychopharmacology.
Lobotomy.
Which relaxes psychotic patients. You could say things. And which school are you from? Me. I have this radical idea that if you treat a patient with respect, listen to him.
He's telling you right here.
Try and understand. Yeah.
This is this entire character. You treat him with respect. Listen to them. That's what he's doing with Leo.
Yep.
Treating him with respect and listening to him.
What should be a last resort is becoming a first response. Give them a pill, put them in the corner, and it all goes away.
It's like that's their way of being like, this is the only way we're going to keep him essentially sane.
Yeah.
To let him do this. It's like, how many times has he done it? I'd be like, dude, do this thing again, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm trying to do my job. I don't have to like play detective work again. Like, yeah, it's like you have it too. The storm outside as it arrives.
Yeah.
Like it just becomes more and more strong as his sanity while he's there becomes more and more like crazy.
Yeah.
Like the storm gets stronger. I feel like that guy was in like Mindhunter.
I think so.
She asked me if she had a glass of water alone in the kitchen. Like that's no big deal. Why was that a big deal? It was obvious. She wanted me to pull out my thing so that she could laugh at it. Sabrina, we need to ask you some questions, okay? When I cut her, she screamed.
Oof. Jeez.
But she scared me. What did she expect? We're here to talk about Rachel Solando, okay? Rachel Solando. You know that she drowned her own kids? She drowned her kids. This is
Wait, what?
I'll tell you that. But you know what they should do? All of them, the retards, the killers, the niggers. You kill your own kid, gas the bitch. You just stop that. That nurse, please stop.
See, it's like, and then here of him doing that scribbling, like he knows that it annoys this guy.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, when you rewatch it, you're like he knows that how to get to this guy because he's in the facility himself.
Yeah.
So like,
he knows all the, pet peeves of every single person there.
I love the pan up and pan down. Yeah, and you had them all separated there too, even Ruffalo.
Yeah.
And then he only like grabbed him when you had him in the 2 shot there is when he grabs him, essentially being like, all right, calm down. Like a lot of great like character actor work here.
Yeah.
Well, I have my dark days. Most everybody does. The difference is most people don't kill their husbands with an axe.
Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting.
I like that it's a different day, but Leo's character's still wearing that ridiculous tie.
I know. Same outfit.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't get out.
But it's kind of like it's interesting like that because it's like you don't really know like what time frame everything is happening. Like you don't know what day it is either.
Yeah, like you assume it's the next day because he had that nightmare or that flashback.
Mm-hmm. But it's like it's just constantly storming outside, so like it just becomes like you don't even know what time it is anymore.
Yeah.
She keeps to herself. She believed her kids were alive. She thought she was still in.
Yeah, I feel like if you're any other interrogation scenes like this, they'd all be in the same frame.
Yeah.
But it's better if you just shoot him talking to them individually because it's like they're crazy, he's crazy, but they each like they're not going to be thinking the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to shoot them separately. Yeah, I feel like if you're going to more of an interrogation thing would be, again, if Leo and him were actually partners, you would see them most likely in the same frame. So yeah. He still separates them. They're all separated.
And they basically both be doing an interrogation. Like in all the scenes, it's Leo, and every now and then they'll cut to like Mark Ruffalo like it just did. And he'll pretend to write something down.
Yeah.
Or like say, have a good day and send them off. But he's not really
and it's interesting work. What he did with this camera work too was like in the last interrogation, like he just did the pan up and pan down with her. He was just slowly pushing in on her until she became. I love that edit right there. Love that edit. And then he puts it down. But just slowly to push in on her because he's starting to connect with her more, and that's when she grabs the thing to like write that quickly down. Because now you have the really close up here because now she's actually like essentially like she's actually wants to help him.
Yeah.
As opposed to the other guy was just crazy. And then if you watch like Ruffalo in that scene, like he watched her do it. He like turned his head and he saw her do it. So he's like, I'm just gonna let that happen. Because if you have it set where it's like it's raining the whole time, like say it was raining and the next day it's sunny, you're like, okay, well it's the next day. If you have it constantly raining, like your perception of time kind of just mends together, which would be like his mind. He's like, how long have you been on here? Like essentially like solving this crime because he doesn't even remember by like the end how long they've been there. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because then he has like in that like dream sequence, like it was all on fire too. So it's like all of his memories are just blend together.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ruffalo's like really underrated in this, I feel like.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because like if you're gonna pitch that to him, you're like, all right, so like for this character, you're essentially acting while acting. Like,
yeah.
So you have to just be like it seems like people will probably be like, Ruffalo's weird in this movie. Probably people will say it's like, well, that's like the point because he's like trying to act, like act and play along, be like pretend to be a detective. So, like,
yeah. And I feel like there's not a lot of like supporting actors that could really pull it off as well as he does.
I know whenever he's just in a supporting role, he just like nails it.
Yeah.
Really hitting him within the rain. Had to use ADR there. But yeah, see like how this it's basically just like a hurricane's hit. Like it's so strong now.
Yeah.
Now, why would you do that in the rain? The ink's gonna run. But yeah, it's like when you think about it too, it's kind of interesting that they would just these people would just let him like walk around outside with it and then like a hurricane. Like when they'd be like, actually, maybe we shouldn't have him go like down there.
Yeah.
Like a tornado hitting now.
What if he just dies?
Yeah. I guess maybe in their mind they'd be like, whatever, I don't have to play this game anymore.
We don't have to watch over him anymore.
Yeah. I have to keep playing this game over and over again. Damn. It's like a category 5 hurricane. That was a sick cigarette light there. Just like snorted it and then blew it out. I know it's like smoking always just looks so cool in movies.
It does.
It's interesting too, even in those shots right there of like them walking out of the woods, it looks like it's the same woods that they were just in.
I know, yeah. Yeah, I think when I first watched this, that's what I thought it was. That it was the same woods.
And if you like when he said when we got to the gates here, they're using the same music they used in the beginning of when them entering the gates of this essentially insane asylum.
Yeah.
The same music. God, can you imagine like finding a camp like this? Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like there was actually a movie that was banned for a long time that Hitchcock made. It was like a documentary. Pretty sure it's just like silent. It's pretty sure it's just silent, and they just show images of just like concentration camps. It's like
really.
It was on Netflix. I forget what it's called. It was pretty like Jesus Christ.
Well, like
I think pretty sure it was just silent the whole time.
Oh, really? And just showed the images.
It was banned for a long time.
When it was first reported back in the day when they started to liberate these camps, people in the United States didn't believe it was real.
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah, that's
and they would
crazy.
like show it in movie theaters,
Mm-hmm.
like basically like newsreel footage, where people could go and watch it, and like people were disgusted and thought it was like, no way, this can be something this evil could actually
Mm-hmm.
happen.
Yeah, this shot of it panning across. It's a lot of death in one shot.
Yep.
Actually, if you look closely at the end, there's a guy, one of the like the guys playing the Nazis officers. He's
Yeah.
like laughing as he hit the ground. He was like laughing because he probably like landed on something.
Yeah.
Because it's an interesting like, um, I guess like because they basically killed them for killing people, so they're gonna kill them too. So I guess like
Yeah.
that's what he wrestled with in that sequence. It's like, well, we're being them, essentially killing them. It's a very interesting like idea of like him like wrestling with killing like that. Like he
Yeah.
still thinks about that moment. Like
Yeah. Or almost like this hypocrisy of violence, which is
yeah,
like a pretty common
basically
theme
what
in
it
a lot of
is.
Scorsese
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah, I think that's what the person brought up in like in that tweet was like the difference of how they handle like the violence is like Tarantino's always over the top. But
Yeah.
when Scorsese does it, it's kind of like that. It's like the hypocrisy of violence. Like
Hmm.
they mass murdered people and now we just essentially mass murdered them.
Yeah.
Like and he's
And he's
wrestling
like
with that.
deliberately come
Yeah.
out and said that before. Like that,
Yeah.
like I think when Killers of the Flower Moon came out, like he pointed out that like it's kind of he's almost a hypocrite because he's like
Hmm.
profiting off of showing all this
Exactly.
violence and showing a
Yeah.
genocide essentially.
Hmm.
And he's going to make money off of it. And he's like, that's
Yeah.
not really right.
Yeah.
But it's an important story to tell.
Hmm. I was like Spielberg when he made Schindler's List. He was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna." He took a zero paycheck. Like that doesn't feel
Yeah.
right for me to take money off of this. Like,
Yeah.
but then again, people could be like, "Well, you already have like $1 billion, so you don't need to take a paycheck," which is true. Like
Yeah.
these guys, don't, but because it's interesting, it's like he's just they're like these insane asylums. Sometimes they're treated like concentration camps, especially back in
Yeah.
like the 40s and 50s. Like people are capable like doing lobotomies, like
Yeah.
experimenting on people is like just as bad as murdering them. Like
Yeah.
you're like essentially killing them in a slowly different way.
Yeah.
And I love right what he just did right there. How that entire room is lit, and then when Mark Ruffalo came to the next frame, he just basically lit up the entire room. Like
Yeah.
the entire room is lit now.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I actually ever noticed that before.
Because I think it's this point now, like Ruffalo is basically being like, I've had enough of this. Essentially, it's like basically like
Yeah.
we've played along for too long now. Now he's like, I'm done with this. The lighting completely changed. It just got super
Hmm.
bright. Also, I'm pretty sure this is green screen, and that might also be the reason.
Yeah. It could be.
This could be a pickup shot, like honestly, but it's an interesting lighting choice to do. Like, just make it super bright again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really pick on that. Like, I remember, like, I think it was like the third or fourth time I watched it. I was like, "Whoa, it's got really bright," like
Yeah.
for like no reason, but it is like a reason. It was kind of him like snapping him out of like that, like his like mental state there, being
Hmm.
no, dude, like bringing him back to like get back on track, essentially. Because it'd be probably so annoying to like shoot. especially as an actor, you're just wet the whole time, just constantly wet. Like,
yeah.
I reset. Oh, god damn it. Okay. Imagine Fincher doing that. He'd probably do like 97 takes of you getting out of the car there.
And now that you mention it, these are just fine. That's why I must repeat my insistence that all OC patients be placed in manual.
But yeah, it's like the patients kind of wear the same, like I guess outfits that, like, if they wore the prison gray, they would be like they were in a concentration camp.
Yeah.
All these doctors are experimenting on you.
Yeah.
And I've always loved this.
Gets rid of like any individuality, whether it's in that concentration camp where it's like the gray and white, striped suits, or the all white here, like just strips them of that individuality.
The aesthetic of just like smoke rising, in a frame of while you're talking to somebody also is great.
Yeah,
great visual.
You had no idea the second line. Correct? 47? Yes, I'm afraid I still do. Understood. Nothing comes to mind. Nothing. Because I believe I just heard you say there are 24 patients in Ward C and 42 patients in Wards A and B, which means there's a total of 66 patients at this facility.
Good. That is correct. he's like happy. He's like, yeah,
yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
Good math.
You're the 67th patient. Bucko.
She's here. Safe and sound.
And only Mortimer. He's a big character actor too.
Yeah.
Police officers, Rachel, they have a few questions.
And how it's lit. It's lit like an interrogation, like the giant spotlight over.
Here. Yes. So, now if you can tell us what you did yesterday, where you were, you help us narrow down our search.
Yes.
It's like, if you're a detective, you would notice that her feet are not cut up at all.
Yeah.
Packed Jim's lunch and he left. And I sent the children off to school.
Oof. What happens to his children?
I decided to take a long swim in the lake.
I love how his entire mood just shifts after she basically tells what happened to his wife.
Yeah.
It was from like this really intense interrogation into like almost like humbling him for a minute. He has to like take this step back.
I thought of you.
And it's what he does with the lighting too, like, because it was all like lit, like he was the interrogator, and then when it switched and she stood up, like now the light is gone essentially, and he's very just like not lit anymore. It's very dark.
Yeah.
And you have the light like a little stronger behind her, and like now she's like in kind of not like interrogating him, but it's like
she has like the power in the conversation now.
And it's very simple blocking, dude. Just have her stand up and come towards him, and they're like on the same playing field, eye lines. It's like he's talking to his wife. Especially the shot, like he had purposely had the wedding ring there too, like of having like a hug. Everyone just like
looking at each other.
Well, that's like an interesting turn. And he like does with the lighting too, like just every lightning strike or like it's just so bright.
Mm-hmm.
He's losing his mind.
Sensitivity, headache, sometimes not. Are you having a migraine? Yeah, right.
That shot was very like old school.
Yeah.
Cinema shot, like him falling and the camera like panning up, like very like 40s. It's actually the pills he needs. It's like almost like his meds were wearing off. Oh, what a shot. I would say the same thing. Who was that? He was in the Silence of the Lambs. Oof. Great lighting.
He looks insane in that shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely like the more you watch it, you realize like the symbolism of the concentration camp towards the insane asylum.
Yeah. Just like the
Oof.
parallels of the two.
That shot always terrified me of her like just laying there. God, I remember in the theater, I was like, oh my god. I literally went like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like in the or like when they open their eyes there, it's like in Insidious.
Yeah.
You've seen Insidious when like Patrick Wilson goes into like the dream sequence or like down into like and like it's like the family that like shoots the girl like shoots her family and she's like smiling, and then like he opens the door, and they all just like randomly smile really fast.
Yeah.
It was like that. I was like, oh my god, like it's like that's so terrifying. Like they all just randomly smile really fast. It's like that. Like it cuts to her and she's laying there, and then like it cuts to her, like her eyes open. Like, God, that's terrifying. Yeah, I love when there's just like, and I bring it up every single podcast too, but I love when there's just unnatural lighting like that, like above his head. Like, what light is that? Like, is now a movie like everything now is just like, it has to be so naturally lit. It's like, who cares? Like throw just a massive spotlight behind them or above them, like or to the side of them. Like, so there's a light above him, like, but it works. Like,
I don't know why a lot of movies have just kind of like abandoned that. Like I remember seeing a few movies last year where they just like wanted it to feel like this natural lighting, and I could barely see what's going on in the scene because there's no light.
Yeah, like just a lot of streaming services just have their way of how they want things to be lit, like for their own stuff. Like, look at this lighting. Like, where is this light coming from? Like, because I mean, it like works. I love how the smoke goes back in. Oh. Yeah, the smoke's just like going back into the cigarette. Yeah. It's so good. Yeah, because the lighting like works essentially because his mind is going insane. So you can do like essentially anything in this scene with the lighting because you had Ruffalo appear, and I have her, which essentially it's his kids, but she's playing like his wife, but his mind sees her.
Yeah,
you can do anything with it. Damn. She kind of looks like the Matilda girl. Like, just if she just like stayed the same age forever.
Yeah.
It's interesting, like how he does it. Like he has them, like him, like walking in reverse, like him putting the body back in the water. It's like his memories are just playing in different orders and in different like reverse orders.
Yeah.
The smoke going back in the cigarette.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. This is how I want to enter a room once. Just
from a giant rainstorm.
Yeah, feel like you're in a movie. Yeah, he uses the same line later. Why are you all wet? Like,
I need to find him, Teddy. We need to find him and you kill him dead.
Man, she's such a good actor.
Yeah.
Michelle Williams.
Mm-hmm.
What's the last thing she was in? I don't even know.
I might be mixing her up with someone else, but isn't she in like all the Venom movies?
Oh yeah, yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She's in the Venom movies.
So that might be
Venom. The second Venom might be the last thing that she was in. Honestly,
yeah.
it's weird to think because now like her daughter and was Heath Ledger's daughter, she's got to be like 18 or something now, almost 20.
Yeah.
No? Maybe almost 20. Probably 18.
Yeah. She was in Manchester by the Sea, wasn't she?
Yeah, Michelle Williams was. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might be right, honestly. Venom 2 might be the last movie she was
Venom
in.
2.
Well, I'm sure we're probably thinking of we're missing something like so obvious too, but like yeah,
I'm sure.
you're right. I completely forgot she's in the Venom movies. I mean, hey, get the paycheck. Actually, kind of these movies are kind of decent, honestly. They're all right.
Yeah. They recognize what they are.
Especially the second one. The second one
they
definitely
lean into it a lot.
definitely leaned into like yeah, crazy it is. Like just being ridiculous, which is fine. It's like if you embrace the ridiculousness, I'll go along with it.
Yeah.
I feel like if you like made this or like had it, if Ruffalo couldn't do it, I could see Sam Rockwell in that role.
Oh yeah.
In Ruffalo's role, he would be great in this.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you don't really have that like those like director actor pairings that much anymore.
Yeah. I feel like it used to be a huge thing. Like,
especially like
Scorsese used
40s,
to. I mean, still
50s.
does it a lot, but
oh yeah, I mean he's done it with De Niro and Leo.
Yeah.
I mean, like yeah, like
Tarantino
you go
does
back
it a
to
lot.
like the 40s and the 50s, like
Mhm.
Capra and like Jimmy Stewart made like 4 or 5 movies together. Like
Yeah.
I guess you can maybe say like Greta Gerwig and Saoirse Ronan because
Mhm.
she was supposed to be in a scene of Barbie, but I think the scheduling didn't work out.
I gotcha.
I guess maybe like Nolan and like Christian Bale, Killian.
Yeah. He does it a little bit.
I mean, he's worked with Killian 5 times, 6 times.
I think so. Yeah.
6 times, yeah. He was Oppenheimer,
I think
Dunkirk,
Oppenheimer is the 6th.
done the Dark Knight trilogy, and then Inception. Yeah, he's worked with them 6
Yeah.
times. So I guess you could say Killian. You could say Killian Murphy and Christopher Nolan, director actor pair. I like this little like production design too of like
Mhm.
in this room, like it's raining and just like ridiculous lighting above.
Yeah.
It's just like great production design. Like it just like why would it be rain? And why would they continue to walk where it's raining? Like why wouldn't
Yeah.
you just walk around it? But like that's like the
Yeah.
point. Like
I think
I mean
this
it's
scene
not a
creeped me out when I was a kid too, or when I first watched it. Just because I was like, "Who is this guy and what the hell's
going
going
on.
on?"
Like what the hell's going on now? I mean it's not a movie unless Leo's gonna scream for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like interesting. Like I mean this is like especially this production design too of like this whole like maze looks like a maze. So it's like his mind's like a maze.
Mhm.
Now he's like kind of you as the audience are now like fully entering, being like, all right,
Yeah.
something's going on with Leo. Like Leo's losing his mind here too. Interesting dialogue. Hydrogen.
Yeah.
Here's that violence he's capable of.
Yep.
That all human beings are capable of. Little hint there. Catch them, not kill them.
Yeah.
Again, like the lighting too, it's just like on him. Like,
yeah.
Where's this light source?
It's not
but
sunny
it works.
out, we know that.
It works. Like I feel like this podcast now, just me every time I watch a movie being like, lighting should be like this.
Yeah.
More people should do this.
Yeah.
Like, because I do the people. I mean, this stuff is like very darkly lit now. Like I do see why people. I do personally think some people maybe need to calibrate their TVs, but some stuff is dark. After this movie, I used to like grab a box of matches and pretend I was like in general and I'd be like, shh, and like trying to walk around.
Turn lights off.
It's like such a it's such like a cool thing to do, and then be like, oh, and then I get another one, and then like light it up. This is crazy. A little Jackie what's the actor's name? It's Jackie Earl Haley here coming up. He played Rorschach and Watchmen.
Yeah.
Also, he was in the Friday Nightmare on Elm Street remake that came out like
I gotcha.
With Rooney Mara. Like, I don't know. But he played Freddy Krueger, and he honestly can play Freddy Krueger. I let him play it again. Like he was good as Freddy Krueger. The movie itself was not, but yeah, like his voice is so distinct. See, I want to light matches like that.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like obviously like he can like see him, so like why is he lighting the match? Like
yeah.
But I think that's like the
no
point.
Way that
like,
match is giving that much light.
Yeah, but it's like it's so bright in there. Like
lit up.
Yeah, but it's like that's the point though. Like it's the whole cell's out, and then like he like throws it there. Like how like strong the light is. Like it's not coming from. And here's the patients they torture, experiment on. This is my favorite line in the trailer when it came out, when he says like, "You're a rat in a maze." It's like the way he delivers it. Yeah. I used to always go up to my friends and be like, "You're a rat in a maze." See, if he tells you the movie right here, he literally tells you the whole movie.
Yeah.
This is for you.
Yeah.
You're playing a game. Like, they're just basically having fun with you. Yeah, they're just basically having fun with you. They're letting this happen. But it's like it's their experiment. It's like, what if we like play along with an illusion, see what happens to their mind? Yeah, he literally just he just tells the whole thing. Like, like if you like rewatch this, like
tells them all the secrets.
like, Yeah, bro. None of this is real. Like, you're not a U.S. Marshal.
Yeah.
We probably had this conversation before. I love that lighting. Oh,
yeah.
He wasn't even lighting the match, but the conversation was over, and it just went all dark. Just like, because now like his like probably multiple personalities switched to another thing. So now he's basically yelling at him, being like,
yeah,
not telling him the secrets anymore. You just have the whole thing go dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, this must be the most powerful matches in the world. That'd be great. That'd be great, like selling point. They light up a room.
Yeah.
Matches. That's your like tagline.
You gotta do it. I told you my heart was breaking and you asked me why. She's fucking with your head. And I told you.
Even like the color correction changes there. So it's very blue back to warm.
Yeah.
You want to uncover the truth? You gotta let it go. You have to let it go. I can't.
If you let her go, they might not do the thing at the end to you. Yeah, it's just a one shot. They color corrected to be blue.
Yeah.
Back to warm.
Not anymore, eh? The one place he can be. White House.
You have to watch the movie first. White
House. Then you'll know the secrets.
Oh, could you imagine Willem Dafoe in this scene? That'd be insane.
He's one of the prisoners.
Yeah.
Keep going. Go on.
It's like the first time it's not raining since they showed up.
What happened to you? What do you mean? Where were you? After we got that guy in the infirmary, I took him on a detour. The patient records.
I took a shower, actually. Maybe I had a meal.
Cleaned up.
I was waiting for you to come down the stairs.
Wash my clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like interesting. Like now that the rain has stopped, it seems like Leo's characters think like he's like, I'm onto this now. I've got this figured out. So now the rain has stopped. It's very calm.
Yeah. Showing that like he feels like he has a little clarity.
Like he has the direction. I need to go to the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Like so now like the rain has stopped. I'm going to the lighthouse. Like
yeah. I like how they're not even close to it.
Yeah. Like, oh, we misjudged this. I guess we need to go down there. Sorry, I thought it was over here. I guess I was wrong.
And he's just guessing. He's like, there might be a path over there. Let's try it.
Yeah.
You better sit this one out. You brought me into this house, and now we're trapped here on this rock, on this island, with no one to rely on each other. Now you're acting like what? How am I acting?
Heard some stuff.
Like the lighthouse.
From Seattle. Seattle. I'm going on alone.
Even there, like Ruffalo's character essentially just being like trying to basically be like, bro, this isn't real. Like, I'm from Seattle. Like, I'm not a cop.
Yeah.
like he's trying to get into like,
all
dude,
the
don't
hints
go
are
down there. Yeah. Just gotta swim there. Oof, a little rack focus there. The sound design there, oh
yeah.
It was like the body falling and hitting, like, like the way they had that sound design. That's definitely Leo, 100%.
It's also like the most insane way to try and get to him is like
Yeah.
free soloing the side of this cliff.
Instead of just like maybe walking down a bit further down
to the shoreline.
I guess he's crazy, so
yeah.
oof. There, he's a rat in a maze.
Yep.
There's the rats. A lot of rats. Someone's just making a fire in there. It's their house. He's just one of the rats in the insane asylum. Patricia Clarkson.
I'm Teddy Daniels. I'm a cop. You're the marshal.
He should have just played the cop he played in The Departed.
Yeah.
That's what he should have just played. I'm a cop.
Same accent and everything.
Same accent. Departed 4K is coming out, I think, in like a month.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a
Is
good
there 4K of this? I'm guessing there is, but
yeah, I'm actually watching the 4K of it. 4K. It's all right. It's not like the most amazing transfer, but
yeah.
I've seen better. Not terrible. Yep. He's like, haha, I'm so smart. Yeah, a lot of people, like, especially, like, I love movies like this where just you'll have one actor just come in and just do like one scene.
Yeah.
And they kill it, and then they just
Yeah.
leave. Like,
Yeah.
just here for like, I worked on the movie for like 2 days, like maybe a day. I was there before.
Yeah. Did you know they almost did a like TV series that was going to be a prequel to this?
Oh, really? I think I remember hearing about that.
I think it was going to be like on HBO, but they passed on it because they're like, they don't really need
a Shutter Island prequel
to the Insane Asylum.
Yeah. I want to read this book. I never read the book. I think it's Dennis Lehane wrote it.
Yeah, I think it's called like, Ashcliff.
It is. Yeah. He wrote, I'm pretty sure he wrote like Gone Baby Gone and Mystic River.
I gotcha.
I'm pretty sure he wrote this. I could be wrong though. Don't take me up on that.
Because I know it's based on a novel, and I think the novel's called Ashcliff. I haven't read it, but I just remember hearing about it one time.
Dude, lobotomies are insane. Like the concept of that, like just removing a part of the brain, like But yeah, it's like I guess that's the whole point of this movie. Like he struggles with the violence that he did during the war, while now essentially being an experiment for the same people that it's the same type of people that did essentially mass murdering, experimenting on other people.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's him.
During their brainwashing experiments, they turn soldiers into traitors. That's what they're doing here. They're creating ghosts to go out in the world.
Yeah, it's kind of just like I guess Scorsese's, like I guess the book or whatever. In general, just saying like, what's the difference between people experimenting and people mass murdering? It's like that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, whoever's doing it is the same type of evil.
Yeah.
This place is where it all began. The Nazis used the Jewish, Soviets used prisoners in their own gulags, and we tested patience.
She's so good in this scene. Just like
comes in for one scene.
Yep.
Like, I'll see you guys later.
And he still believes that.
Yeah, you could say so.
Just a few.
Got a couple. I love the flame just in the middle of their conversation. Oh, she's so good. Just the eyes. As like a director, I'd just be like, act like directing this. I'd be like, God, that's so good. Good. like one first take, I got it. Yeah, it's interesting you put the flame in between them because it's like,
yeah,
you would think this person's just like so like she's so crazy, like
yeah,
just so chaotic, just explaining like everything going on with the world essentially that's happening here.
It takes 36 to 48 hours for neuroleptic narcotics to reach workable levels in the bloodstream. Palsy comes first. First the fingertips and eventually the whole hand. Seen any walking nightmares lately, Marshall?
Tell me what goes on.
Yes, I've seen a lot. A lot's been going on.
the whole time I've been here.
Yeah.
Now let's open the skull and see what happens if we pull on this kind. We learned it from the Nazis, kind. This is where they create the ghost.
Who knows about this? On the island of being who?
Everyone.
Come on, man. The nurses, did they order? They couldn't possibly know.
Everyone.
They're all in on it.
I love how numerous people have told him exactly what's going on. He's still just like, I gotta get to the lighthouse.
Mm-hmm. Well, even again in that, like how you shoot them, they were never in the same shot together.
Mm-hmm.
The entire time they were shot separately.
Yeah.
They think I'm dead, then I drown. I'm afraid if they come looking for you, they might find me. I'm sorry, but you have to go.
Fine, cave lady. I'll leave.
I'll be on my way.
Get you off the island.
Haven't you heard a word I said? The only way off the island is the ferry, and they control it. You'll never leave.
It's true. She's not wrong.
I had a friend. I was with him yesterday, but we got separated. You see,
Marshall, you have no friends.
Damn, plot twist.
Great shot just to like demonstrate the scale of what he just had to climb up of.
Yeah. I guess it's like the scale of what he's willing to do. Essentially,
Yeah.
like that's how crazy he is.
There you are. We were wondering when you'd show up.
This guy's such a good actor.
Yeah.
Can feel that presence, intimidation.
Yeah.
Taking a leisurely stroll.
what's up? Just looking around.
One way to put it.
Yeah.
God's gift to violence.
God's gift to violence.
I saw that tree and reached out for me.
Not even watching the road.
No.
Would have crashed by now.
Yeah.
Why else would there be so much of it? In us. It's what we are.
Violent people.
We wage war, we burn sacrifices, pillage and plunder, and tear at the flesh of our brothers.
Yeah, I mean, this entire movie is just like the violence that people are capable of.
Yeah.
Him during the war, these people experimenting on people, his wife killing his children. Everybody's capable of it.
Yeah, it really fits like I was saying earlier, with thematically just like his later stage movies.
Mm-hmm.
And the ideas of like violence and what men and people are capable of.
Mm-hmm.
But also like this idea of faith this isn't as faith heavy as some of his other movies.
Yeah.
But like Leo still has this faith that like he's right, that he's the only sane one on the island.
Yeah.
And he like will blindly follow that.
He's right. Not just us in general, but people like us.
Yep.
Jesus.
What an unhinged thing to say.
You know, what a line. If I was to sink my teeth into your eye right now, would you be able to stop me before I blinded you? I love how everyone's just like gone.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like a patient.
Yep.
Looking at your island. How I got to leave it now that Rachel's been found. Sure, yeah. Big meeting. Oh, yes. Apparently, there was an unidentified man in the World Sea yesterday. He subdued a highly dangerous patient quite handily.
Oh.
That's all. It seems he had a long conversation with a paranoid schizophrenic, George Nice.
I love how he turns around like,
Yeah.
someone behind me.
Who could that be?
As a matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, the patient got so wound up by one of Nice's stories that he beat him up.
It was him that beat him up.
Thanks, I quit. So you're taking the ferry? Yes, absolutely I am. I've gotten all we came here for.
It's interesting, like the idea of him being like a rat in a maze too. It's like whenever they experiment on like rats or something, like they put them in the maze, like eventually it's like they're kind of waiting for him to eventually get to the final moment that they want him to get to.
Yeah.
Like they've probably done this a lot and he never got there.
Yeah. And they're just waiting for him to get to that end point without like.
Then the experiment essentially worked. Yeah, the experiment worked. If like if you keep letting him play, like do this scenario, eventually it'll lead him to that correct outcome that you want them to.
Definitely.
Gotta get my tie, my flower tie, my like a palm tree tie. I love like how like Max von Sydow like plays this character because he's probably the most crazy of them all when it comes to the experiment thing. Plays it very calm.
Yeah.
And that's how people were.
dozen remarks, words, Nazis. Well, that too.
You.
Those memories, feelings. Did you know that the word trauma comes from the Greek? And what is the German word for grief? Traum. Ein Traum. Wounds can create those.
God, it's such good acting, man.
You are wounded in emotion. And when you grieve, when you see
It'd be nice to be a good actor.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
100 movies.
Yeah, you just watch this. Like, yeah, this guy's good. Good actor.
No notes.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be giving Max von Sydow notes on how to act. He'd probably be giving you notes on how to direct.
Yeah.
What are you doing, baby? You gotta get to the ferry.
If the world thinks that Chuck is dead, it's perfect for their experiments.
The Lighthouse.
You go there and you'll die.
My partner, they are hurting him as they're holding him against his will.
I gotta blow this car up first.
Can't lose anyone.
Okay, please. Please don't do this. Don't go.
Sorry, honey. I love this thing because you gave it to me. The truth is, it was one fucking ugly time.
It is an ugly tie. Oof. What a shot. Oof. Fires over them and then back. It's so good. The theme plays again.
Yeah.
Symbolism of death. He still can't find the path to the beach. It's the shoreline.
No. He's always just way off.
Finally found it. All right, we're on level ground. Now we gotta figure out how to get earlier. They're just waiting for him to show up. Yeah, it's like the final piece in the maze.
Yeah.
If he comes here, our experiment worked. It's probably this guy's first day.
Yep.
it also makes sense why like everything's just so easy for him to like get in here. Like they want him to come in.
They want him to get there.
Yeah, like him just smacking the gate open like so easily. Like,
and I love the theme in that sequence too, just because it's so blaring and so loud. Like it feels like every time it gets reintroduced into the movie, that it's just louder than the last time.
The spiral staircase of his mind. And the empty rooms, the empty memories. Finally. Damn, use the same line.
Yep.
How badly did you hurt the dog? Yes, he's here. Have Dr. Sheehan take a look at your man before you send him on.
So, Dr. Sheehan came in on the ferry this morning.
Not exactly. You blew up my car. I really love that car.
You blew my car. I love that car. I think Leo is really underrated. I mean, I feel like it's hard to say like Leonardo DiCaprio's underrated, but
yeah,
like showing his like descent into madness is pretty damn good.
I mean, I feel like if you look at like all of his performances, this is one of his more underrated ones. I feel like people don't talk about it as much.
Yeah. I think people just like forget, like, oh yeah, Shutter Island. I liked that movie.
Yeah.
Like they'll say, yeah.
By the cliffs. Yet to her.
I don't doubt it. Considering she's not real. The delusions are more severe than I thought. Not on your elliptics. You're not on anything, as a matter of fact.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I guess their experiment is like, what if we took him off the meds and let him play out his like delusion or fantasies and see what happens.
How insane he can get.
Yeah.
Chlorpromazine. The same thing we've been giving you for the past 24 months.
So for the past 2 years, you've had somebody slipping drugs in Boston. Is that it?
Not Boston. Yeah. Been here for 2 years. A patient of this institution.
Again, separate them in the frame. Very simple.
Yep.
Very simple to do.
You really think you're going to convince me I'm crazy, huh? Do you know the kind of people that I deal with every day? I'm a U.S. Marshal, for God's sake.
You were a U.S. Marshal. Here's a copy of the intake form. You broke into Ward C4, proof of the 67th patient. If you'd gotten it to the mainland, you could have blown the lid off this place. But somehow you couldn't find time to look at it. Well, read it now. Go ahead.
Is highly intelligent, highly delusional, decorated element of error.
Yeah, I just love how he always just changes the lighting, where like the lighting was above Ben Kingsley when he handed it, and now the lighting's now above Leo, and he'll switch it back.
Yeah, it creates like this vibrancy throughout this movie.
It's supposed to be like, look here now. Now look here.
Yeah.
Look here.
Your wife's maiden name is Chana. Am I correct?
I'm afraid I have to. I made this PowerPoint presentation.
Please listen.
Yeah.
If you've done anything to my partner, doctor, that is a violation of focus. What do you think?
Focus.
Have the same letters. Edward Daniels is exactly the same 13 letters as Andrew Lewis. Same as Rachel Philando and Dolores Chanel. The names are anagrams.
The tactics. Then they're not going to work on
You came here for the truth. Here it is. Your name is Andrew Lewis. 67th patient of Ashford is you, Andrew. You were committed here by court order 24 months ago. Your crime is terrible. One you can't forgive yourself for, so you invented another such.
Let's get into the facts.
You've created a story in which you're not a murderer, you're a hero, still a U.S. Marshal, only here in Ashford because of the case, and you've uncovered a conspiracy so that anything we tell you about who you are, what you've done, you can dismiss as lies, Andrew.
My name is
And with the blocking too, you have Ben Kingsley like stand up, as opposed to like you would have like Leo is previously looking down on him. Like Leo would create more of a power. Yeah, it would be like Leo is putting more of a power over him. But now when Ben Kingsley stood up to be like, now he's like telling him the full truth.
Yeah,
you're on the same level playing field, eye line wise.
No, I'm fucking on to you, Doc. You had Noise speed. Of course I did. Give me one reason why I would even touch him.
Transcript, conversation, this is about you. This has ever been about.
He's saying this is about me and Reese.
When you asked him what happened to his face, he said, here, I'm quoting again, you did this.
No, he meant that it was my
You
fault.
almost killed him. The warden and the board of overseers are determined something to be done. It's been decided. But unless we can bring him back to sanity now, right now, permanent measures will be taken to ensure you can't hurt anyone.
I love how they present this scene, just because it's like almost how you would present something in the reveal of like a whodunit, but instead of to a larger audience or to everyone in the movie, it's to the one guy that doesn't believe like this is his story.
Play a long little game here. Dr. Mary's gonna turn me into one of his ghosts. Don't worry about my father. He's gonna tell the U.S. Marshal's office that he's a defense mechanism. Watch me. Watch me every minute. Who are you? Who are you? Tell me.
Don't you recognize me, Andrew? I've been your primary psychiatrist for the last 2 years. I must have seen you.
I told you about the way. I know. I climbed down a cliff to get you. I trusted you. I risked everything to come in here after you
I love how he like keeps Leo when Leo's looking at them and you see their like the shots of like the medium close-ups of them. They're in the same frame with Leo, but when he's like yelling at them, he's still by himself.
Yeah,
because they sympathize with him. They know who this person is. And now you have him finally sit down,
Mhm.
and they're now talking down to him. They have the power. They have the full power control.
I see, and that's your firearm, Marshal, your show?
My initials are on the side and the death of barrel from when Phillips Jack shot at me. You're not gonna fuck with my mind on this one, Doctor.
Then blast away, because that's the only way you're ever getting off this side.
I love that effect.
Yeah.
The whole like editing is just so good.
It is.
The toy, Andrew. We're telling you the truth. Dolores was insane, manic depressive, suicidal. You drank, stayed away, ignored what everyone told you. You moved to that lake house after she purposely set your city apartment on fire. You children, handle your children.
Oof, what images, man.
Your wife drowned them. The cabin by the lake. And here, the little girl, the one you dream of every night. The one who tells you every night that you should have saved. Saved them all. Your daughter. Rachel, are you going to deny that she ever lived? You wrong, dear.
This is part of the experiment too, give them a visual reference to have their mind come back.
Yeah, make it all click for them.
Yeah.
And then you can just see like the devastation wash over him as he's looking at the photos.
Mm-hmm.
And he portrays it so well.
This is almost kind of like a come, like join us essentially, like.
I'm back. We got him just outside of Oklahoma.
Because your mind's like kind of no longer there.
Yeah.
Shot out whiskey. This scene's like terrifying.
Yeah. It's just brutal.
They like push in, made it seem almost like a painting there.
Mm-hmm. Now this film reminds me a lot of Zodiac as well.
Mm-hmm. And this is just some top-notch acting here.
Yeah.
Baby, why are you all white?
And now you finally get the line of why you're all wet. Now you know where it's from.
Wow. Where are the kids?
They're in school.
Oh, this line delivery coming up here when she says my school is like, God,
Yeah.
Terrifying.
My school is.
Oof. What a delivery, my lord.
Sends chills down your spine.
And then just that shot, like, oh my God. Now you realize why he went insane.
Yeah.
Lord, imagine like just like writing this scene, being like, yeah. This is like reading it, you'd be like, Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
I love the choice to not use music here too.
Yeah.
There's like a siren outside right now. If we can hear it. Not much I can do about outside sound sometime. Not in soundproof.
Especially because you live in a bigger city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, of course, it's playing during this like most depressing scene.
Yeah.
Oof. Because it's interesting, like the amount of death that he's seen in his life from being in the war, but this death is what ultimately drives him to madness.
Yeah. Just breaks him.
Mm-hmm. Because like any other person seeing all of the concentration camps, like that would just break you as a person.
Yeah.
You would never be able to unsee that.
And I feel like the audience like definitely feels that as well. Just because like they show us that throughout the movie, but no matter how many times I watch this scene, every time I watch it, just turns my stomach into knots.
It's a terrifying scene. Like,
yeah.
I think it's mainly from that line delivery of just my school is and like how she delivers it, like
with the smile.
Yeah, like good man. And he's capable of violence.
Yep.
Andrew, can you hear me?
That edit, just the spotlight come up.
Yeah, like, so good.
Yeah.
Rachel? Rachel who?
I always love Thelma's editing techniques.
Yeah.
Why are you here? I killed my wife. And why did you do that?
Who's Teddy Danny? No, that is Rachel Solano meeting him up. What?
We need to hear you say it.
She tried to kill herself the first time. Lost function. She had
Did the experiment work?
Across her skulls. And why it's just
Oof.
done to her innocent. I loved her so much.
Why did you make them up?
I can't take knowing that Laura's killed my children.
I love when like they ask him the questions too. It has the shot of both of them in it with him in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's basically just him like essentially confessing to like, yeah, I'm a patient here.
Here's my theory.
And again, it's
And
just
then
like this devastating realization and confession.
Yeah. And then you move the camera.
Reality.
Yeah, you move the camera in because they were on the outside. The camera's outside when they're
Mhm.
asking the questions. Then you move it in when he is now okay. Like we've been playing this game for now long. It's finally worked. Like now he's basically sympathizing with him again, like talking. So you just bring the camera into the conversation as opposed to being on the outside
Yeah.
because they were asking the questions.
Try to help me. Elsewhere. My name's Andrew Later. I murdered my wife in the spring. 52.
The final confession. He looks like just a normal person now.
Yep.
How are you doing this morning? Good. Yeah. Good plan. What's our next move? You tell me. Gotta get off this rock, Chuck. Back to the mainland. What the hell's going on here? It's bad.
Damn. Oh, that look of like, yeah, that look of just, it's time
Yeah.
for the lobotomy.
That's right. We're too smart for him.
It's almost like they like don't want to do it. It's just like
Life makes me wonder. Yeah, what's that? Which would be worse? To live as a monster? Or die as a good man?
who knows?
Hey?
It's time, Leo. Experiment is up.
Yep.
I've had enough of the experiment. And he uses the theme once more.
Yep.
To close it. The final moment. All you do is just show the lighthouse. Of the evil. Will always be there. End film.
It's just so good. Yeah.
Scorsese guy will break out soon, I think.
Yeah.
This podcast is hosted and edited by Pat Brennan. That's me, with intro and closing music by Patrick Baxter.